Well, lords, the Duke of Lancaster is dead.
And living too, for now his son is Duke.
Barely in title, not in revenues.
Richly in both, if justice had her right.
My heart is great, but it must break with silence, ere it be disturbed with a liberal tongue.
Nay, speak thy mind, and let him ne'er speak more, that speaks thy words again to do thee harm.
Tens that thou wouldst speak to the Duke of Hereford. If it be so, out with it boldly, man. Quick is mine ear to hear of good towards him.
No good at all that I can do for him, unless you call it good to pity him. Beareth and gelded in his patrimony.
Now, afore God, 'tis shame such wrongs are born. In him, a royal prince, and many more of noble blood in this declining land. The king is not himself, but basely led by flatterers, and what they will inform him, merely in hate, 'gainst any of us all. That will the king severely prosecute, 'gainst us, our lives, our children, and our heirs.
The commons hath he piled with grievous taxes, and quite lost their hearts. The nobles hath he fined for ancient quarrels, and quite lost their hearts.
And daily new exactions are devised, as blanks, benevolences, and I wot not what. But what in God's name doth become of this?
Wars hath not wasted it, for ward he hath not, but basely yielded upon compromise. That which his noble ancestors achieved with blows, more hath he spent in peace than they in wars.
The Earl of Wiltshire hath the realm and farm.
The king grown bankrupt like a broken man.
Reproach and dissolution hangeth over him.
He hath not money for these Irish wars, his burdenous taxations notwithstanding, but by the robbing of the banished Duke.
His noble kinsman, most degenerate king. But lords, we hear this fearful tempest sing, yet seek no shelter to avoid the storm. We see the wind sit sore upon our sails, and yet we strike not, but securely perish.
We see the very wreck that we must suffer, and unavoided is the danger now, for suffering so the causes of our wreck.
Not so. Even through the hollow eyes of death, I spy life peering, but I dare not say how near the tidings of our comfort is.
Nay, let us share thy thoughts, as thou dost ours.
Be confident to speak, Northumberland. We three are but thyselves, and speaking so, thy words are but as thoughts. Therefore, be bold.
Then thus, I have from Le Port Blanc, a bay in Brittany, received intelligence that Harry, Duke of Hereford, Reynold, Lord Cobham, the son of Richard, Earl of Arundel, that late broke from Duke of Exeter, his brother, Archbishop late of Canterbury, Sir Thomas Erpingham, Sir John Ramsden, Sir John Norbury, Sir Robert Waterton, and Francis Coint, all these well furnished by the Duke of Brittany, with 8 tall ships, 3,000 men of war, are making hither with all due expedience, and shortly mean to touch our northern shore. But perhaps they add ere this, but that they stay the first departing of the king for Ireland. If then we shall shake off our slavish yoke, imp out our drooping country's broken wing, redeem from broken pawn the blemished crown, and swipe off the dust that hides our scepter's guilt, and make high majesty look like itself. Away with me in post to Ravenspur, but if you faint, as fearing to do so, stay and be secret, and myself will go.
To horse, urge doubts to them that fear.
Hold out my horse, and I will first be there.